Hey guys, I don't usually do review videos, but I kind of figured since I did have a little bit of an earlier access for Godfall, and I already have quite a few hours into the game, I figured if anything, this would be kind of a good time for me to go and talk about if I think this game is worth the, surprisingly, $70. Jesus Christ, $70 or $60 on PC. As I'm doing this, I'm going to just do like a little bit of casual gameplay up in the background. Nothing super special, just kind of showing you up a little bit of the stuff and having something in the background as I'm talking about. So, I would have to say, so far, my very first impression, also if you guys don't mind any audio stuff, I would probably say no. I will be honest, I do not think this game is worth a $70 purchase price. But I'm going to kind of go into it and stuff. I think the game is good. Sometimes you hear people saying, I would not recommend this game. Is that kind of a bad sign? I think this game has a lot of potential and is very, very, very somewhat unique-ish on a lot of the elements. It's a blend of a bunch of different games put together. And I think that's a very nice thing, if anything. I think it's really fucking cool. But the main issue for all this stuff is there's a few major issues. Number one, you can even see right now as I'm loading to the game. It does take a decent amount of time to load into every area. In my excuse, though, I do have this on a normal hard drive, but just in terms of normal games, I do think it takes kind of a long time. This is taking kind of a decent amount of time. Another big issue, too, is there is a lot of optimization errors I have seen. When it comes to you use an ability for the first time, it usually goes and lags out your PC. It kind of gets a little bit messed up. I have a very good PC, so I don't think it's on my end. It might possibly be, but I've heard other people and other reviewers also go and say the similar thing. A big thing, too, as well, is there is a little bit of monotony when it comes to the actual gameplay itself. Is you kind of do the same stuff a lot. You basically just go and attack. Also, right here, I'm trying to attack. I'm spamming left click because we have all these abilities going on and stuff. You can't even do anything with your character. You have to wait until after all this is done to even go and use your stuff. Like right now, you see how long that took for how there's sometimes a really awkward issue. I've noticed that a lot whenever you level up. You sometimes get stun locked into your actual character. These are very small things, could be easily fixed, but it's something I've noticed enough where I'm like, okay, this is a little bit of a bug. Also, in terms of actual characters, you can kind of see that some of these more basic characters are very prevalent throughout the game. The only difference between, say, these characters and the water and the other area in the water section is that they're just water and slightly higher level. A lot of the characters also play really similar. So this is like you have a swordsman guy, you kind of, do whatever with them. You have like magicians, they have those in all the different areas and stuff. They're all like the character design is very similar. I do think it's varied enough, is even the right word, where it doesn't feel the same so far, but I've only played like 6 hours or so, and the whole purpose of this game is kind of like a warframe style game where you just keep on doing the same areas, keep on getting different looting stuff, killing the same bosses. I can definitely see it for a long period of the time getting a little bit monotonous as time kind of goes on. I can just kind of see it. So I do say it is mostly fluid. You can kind of see, like, as I'm playing, it does feel pretty good. It's pretty fast, high octane if you want. This is with a two-handed sword too, so you can actually attack a little bit fast with like dual swords and all that. But it's not bad. Like, everything's not bad. If I had to give this game an overall rating, I'd probably give it like a 7, which I think is usually pretty okay. But that's like why I have the issue is that the price point I think is a little bit too high. If this game was a $30 game, I'd be absolutely down with it. I'd even recommend it. I'd be telling you guys, yeah, go buy this game. Get it. $30. Like, that's a good deal. It has a good content. The area overall is beautiful, too. I think that's one of the best points about the game. The art design, the character design on your characters, the weapon design, everything on it is very cool. Like, you can even see the weapons are cool. They're various. You have different, like, it changes how your character looks. The stat system's really cool. It's really progressive. So there's a lot of good perks about the game. There is really, really a lot of good perks. But another big thing is kind of how the gameplay plays out is that so far in the game, as I'm in the second area, like the end of the second area, it's all kind of the similar stuff. So you go and you find a boss, and then you kill it. And then you get the loot off the boss, which is cool, but it doesn't really change up the gameplay too much. Throughout the story, there's a few different segments and areas where you essentially have to go and, like, defeat areas, defeat waves, survive, stuff like that, kill them in a certain way. And that's cool. Like, I'm down with that. That's cool. But in the core of the gameplay, it's very similar. Just kill stuff, get loot, leave, get loot, find chests, get loot. Run around the world, try to find random little spots that have random loot you can go pick up, get it, and go from there. But all this does kind of tie together pretty well because the progression system makes a lot of sense. Basically, you go and you get gear, you get stuff. You either sell like the shitty gear you don't want to really use, and then it goes from there. You basically can improve your weapons, improve all your stuff, and it's not too bad. Like, it's kind of cool. Kind of cool idea. There's even elites right now. I'm fighting elite in the background. And like, you do damage, you can improve your damage. There's different types of builds. It's cool. Like, the game itself is a cool game. But in terms of the core gameplay, it does get a little bit boring. Here's a good example right now where sometimes your character gets bud whenever you get the level up. So it's like there's a few little tiny bugs I've noticed throughout my gameplay. Nothing super crazy, but there's enough that you're like, okay, I kind of wish this wasn't in the game, or they can fix it. Like I said, they can fix that. It's not the biggest deal. But in terms of the actual gameplay, it is a little bit monotonous. It is a little bit some of the things you don't want to be doing non-stop. Like, you don't want to just go and queue into a spot, kill a boss you've killed 5 times already, and then leave. It's a little bit lame. I kind of wish they could add more throughout the game. I'm not fully done with the game. I haven't beaten the game yet, but I have heard it's a little bit of a shorter game, so just kind of basing off of some other reviewers as well. So the actual first gameplay cycle's fun. I'm gonna maybe guesstimate maybe around like 15 hours or so if you kind of take it more casually, maybe like 10 if you min-max, if you watch some YouTube videos and stuff, which I might actually throw a few YouTube videos up on just a few of my recommendations on the game so far, and like how to kind of build better and do stuff. Because I've been doing more of a melee build, and I think it's kind of cool that you can switch up your build around a little bit more as well, which is, in my opinion, nice. Adds more variety. There's also different types of characters you can go and plus around with, and that kind of changes up your playstyle a little bit, but not really too much. More so kind of just depends if you use more of like actual abilities versus, say, just brute forcing it, kind of how I am. So it doesn't really change with the gameplay too much. It changes up a little bit, but But yeah, so that's kind of the thing, is I feel like the main game itself is not really that long. They do have like some post-game stuff where I think I want to say, I might be wrong, I haven't gotten there yet just based off other people's reviews, that they essentially add modifiers for the game and kind of let you kind of play through it with different types of like elements for the game and stuff. I'm not sure if that's true. I haven't gotten there yet. But just in terms of everything I've seen so far, it is starting to drag a little bit. Not too much. I'm still enjoying it. I'm going to play it. I'm trying to go beat the game and check out the new areas, because the areas are very, very nice to look at. But like I said, if you're kind of killing the same thing and doing the same thing in every game, it gets a little bit boring after a while. So far, I haven't hated it because the high-octane gameplay and progression system is nice. You get different bosses, different areas. So it's kind of keeping the ADHD gamer in me entertained. But like I said, I haven't done too much different shit besides kind of spam left-click, spam right-click, and occasionally press other stuff like doing shield abilities or stuff like that. So the actual gameplay itself is well done. It's smooth. The animations look nice. But I kind of want more. I kind of wish I had a little bit more. And also, like I said, the areas are very beautiful. It's kind of like a major thing why I like, because there's actually things you can do throughout the world. Not too much. So a lot of this is kind of just empty for show, which is kind of both a win and a lose. But there's a few little things you can kind of go and teleport and explore. There's a few chests around the areas and stuff. Like, say, here's a random chest we found. Kind of cool. Like, we like it. That's cool. You get gear, you get stuff to upgrade, etc. But there's really not much else in the game besides that. So, like, now what? Like, now that we did that, was that really worth it for us to go over here? Not really, because you could mostly just go and kill mobs and get it. Like, the exploration is a little bit low, because you have a really pretty world, but there's almost no reason to explore the world. Besides maybe your first playthrough, and then after that, you already know where everything is. And it's still more efficient just to farm bosses and go from there. In terms of actual story, the story is a little bit okay. It's kind of basic, like, hey, we're in a war, kill someone. I think the story is not really the main focal point in the game anyway. Like, the main purpose is run around, look at pretty stuff, murder stuff, look at cool animations, and kill stuff. Which I'm cool with. Like, as a video game player, you don't always have to have good story as long as the gameplay is good. But that leads back to what I was saying, is that the gameplay itself can be a little bit mediocre just because you're kind of doing the same thing over and over and over again. One of the more last points I want to touch on is the progression system. The progression system, I think, is very, very well made. You essentially keep on getting different gear and stuff as you progress through the game. You get different drops, and you can essentially level up the gear up to 5 levels, and then get different things and abilities in your character. You also have a bunch of different things like life stones, rings, charms, amulets, banners, and stuff, and it all has different abilities, which let you kind of switch up your playstyle more. So you have might, you can go and have vitality, which is HP. So you can kind of mix it up and play how you kind of want to play. And also there's a lot of big skill tree too, which I do think is very cool. It kind of lets you go and upgrade your stuff. So like right now I'm kind of going hardcore into all the damage and all the overall abilities. So for this I'm going to go and purchase the might, spirit, and vitality 2%, which increases everything. So I already have the plus 60 might over here. So there's at least like a little bit of thought you have to put into your character in terms of the gear, the items you have, the rings you have, the stats you level up and such. So that's a nice perk, and I'll definitely give that bonus points. But like I said, there really isn't that much throughout the world. You get some of this stuff, which is infused jasper, but like it doesn't really matter because most of the stuff you can get, you just get from casually running around the map or killing bosses. So it's not really that needed. And there is kind of just a lot of empty stuff where there's no real reason for this stuff here. Like, what's the purpose of killing that? Nothing really. You know, it's like it's just kind of there. It's just kind of there to look pretty. But overall, I would say I think I do give this game like a 7.5. This is it's your type of game. The best comparison would probably be between like a warframe and maybe like even like a Darksiders in terms of gear and all that. Like I said, you do get different weapons. You could have dual blades. You could have like long swords. You could have a few other different things, pole arms, which is also nice. It adds more to the variety of the game. But like I said, like there's just a few things that fall just a little bit flat. The world is beautiful, but it needs more stuff in it. Like this is all the same stuff you can see in every area and every different spot. You just get a few little things, nothing super crazy, not really that good. Like this charm, I could have killed the boss and progressed the game and got better gear. Like it's just not that good. You could always sell it and use it for other stuff, but it's just not that good. The game looks very nice, as I mentioned. The combats it's pretty a little bit the same shit, but it's still fun. Still enjoy it. And I don't know, I like it. I held my interest enough for 6 hours, and I'm going to probably go and play more of it tomorrow and try to beat the game. But I think this is one of those games where I think it'd be more of a, you play it once, you enjoy the game, you enjoy the experience, maybe a second time if you really enjoy this style of game. But overall, it's not the bestish game, and I think the price point's a little bit too high. I really think if this game was $30, a lot of people would be more hyped up for it. A lot more people would be recommending it. I would be recommending it right now, because the game is definitely worth $30. 60 or 70, I don't know. I think there's better games out there and games that have done it better, but this game is a really good base for future potential for the game. Like if they keep on adding DLCs or adding free expansions, very good. This game will be worth it, and give it another 6 months or a year, it'll be a fantastic game. But in the current state and based on everything I've read from other reviews and how I've seen, it just needs a little bit more. Just a little bit more to make this game phenomenal. It has a really, really good base, really good start, but it just needs just a tiny bit more. So overall, I don't think this game is worth the money. I think if it was a little bit cheaper, it would be. I personally got a press copy for it, so I did get the game for free. So thank you very much, Gearbox, for that. But I don't know. I like it. I think the game is good. It needs a little bit of work. I think like a week 1 patch to fix up some of the optimization for people at the start of the game would be very, very nice. The loading screens as well are a little bit long. It is loading a lot of stuff. I get that, but they are a little bit long in my opinion. And I think it's a good game. We'll have to see if I could play through the full first playthrough of it. But for 6 hours in, I enjoyed it. I liked it. I don't think it's worth the money because it needs more. It needs more substance. It needs more in the game. More areas, more anything. But I think it's good. I do like it. So I guess this is my review. I probably rambled a lot. I don't usually do reviews on my channel. So you guys can like leave a like or leave a comment if you kind of want to give your opinion. Maybe if you guys are deeper in or you guys see this from a week from now, maybe the game actually has a lot more. Or maybe I just haven't played enough or something. But you guys can leave your thoughts, leave your comments, see if you guys like it, if you pick it up, if you enjoyed it or whatever. And also let me know if you guys kind of like these types of reviews. Like I said, this is probably a 7 out of 10. Not a bad game. I don't think it's worth the money, but this game would probably be worth picking up on sale. I think it's good enough, and I think it's a fun experience. You also can play with your friends, so if you have friends who are into this like Warframe, Destiny style type game, I think they'd like it. It'd be a fun one-time playthrough, especially if you have a brand new console. But yeah, I just don't think it's worth the $70 as of now with the content it has right now. Very good base, though. If they add more stuff, I think it'll be good. But that's the end of my quick review. You guys can let me know if you guys like it. Like I said, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And check out my other Godfall videos I uploaded on the channel because I'm going to probably upload a few throughout the day. Thank you all for watching, and this is Scrubbing out.